Okay, now this comes the interesting part, the thing that you need to learn that will take some time to get used to it, but once you have your hands on, then you really have achieved or you really have acquired a great skill that can help you at every stages. So we are going to see how we can use functions and formulas to get the desired result that we want. Most of the function that we are going to see over here, you might use them once in a while, once in a month or once in 2 3 months. But as I said in the intro, that my target would be to show you the power, show you how different results are achieved. So even there are things that I have not discussed in the tutorial, and tomorrow you get a scenario where you want to achieve them, I can Google it and somehow achieve those results. Somehow I can manipulate the data and get my desired output. So let us start with this. And if initially you find that I'm not able to understand anything, don't worry. Let more functions be exposed to you and have a look at different functions. Do practices. Do exactly what I do. Just replicate my actions on your sheet, and slowly you will see that you are feeling comfortable with functions and you are able to apply those functions as and when needed. Let us see how add works. We will create one page where we will write functions basic, and then we will functions. Okay, let's see what has happened right now. A sheet with the name function already exists. So there is already a sheet called function, may be hidden. So you cannot have two sheets with the same name. That's why this error. So I'll write functions 2. Now this is okay. For any function, you write equal to sign and then start typing the name of the function. So I want to write add. So this, if I write AD, there are two functions that starts with AD. So I want to use the function called add. If I click this, it gives me some idea what exactly this function is going to do. In the first line, you see it says value 1 comma value 2. So it means this function is going to take two values. This is the example, add 2 comma 3. This is what exactly this function is going to do. Returns the sum of two numbers equivalent to the plus operator. Value 1 the first addend, value 2 the second addend. Now let us see what this means. I say add 4 comma 6. Press enter. Now you see in the cell we are looking at 10, but actually this is a function used add. And add will only take two numbers. I cannot write 4 comma 6 comma 4. This gives an error. And if I hover over the error, it says wrong number of arguments to add. Expected 2 arguments but got 3 arguments. So there can only be 2 arguments to this function. Argument is what you provide. So right now add is the function. 4 and 60 are the arguments. This is equivalent of plus sign. What does mean is we can also write equal to 4 plus 60. This is also 64. This is exactly what the help section was saying, equivalent of the plus operator. This was add. You can easily understand what minus is going to do. So equal to minus value 1, value 2, we'll say 10, 3, 7. So it deducted second from the first value. I don't think you ever need to use minus, because if ever I need to use, I can simply write 10, equal to 10 minus 7. It will give me 3. Can we implement it somewhere? Okay, let us implement in this. So we have this data of all the restaurants. There are, what is the name of the restaurant, what is the rating, the URL. So basically this is from a website. What are the total number of photos of that restaurant, that website, what are total number of reviews, what is the phone number, what is the cuisine, so on and so forth. Now what I want is, what is the total sum of bookmarks and check-ins. Check-in is, on social media someone go and say checking in from this. So they are counting those check-ins, and bookmark is how many of the users went to that website and bookmarked that particular restaurant. Anyway, that is not important for us. What is important for us is I want to know what is the total number of bookmarks and check-ins. So I'll write a header as total BM plus check-in. Now over here I want to have this and this, the addition of this and this. So what I'll write, equal to add first parameter. Instead of writing 893, you can refer the cell. So I can simply write, or I can select N2. If I select N2, automatically it writes N2. Second is comma O2. So I can either write O2 or select O2. Close. Now this gives me sum of this and this. Now in the next line, I can write add of this, comma this. Now we got 1476. But you see, this was N comma O, this N2 comma O2. This is N3 comma O3. Definitely over here we are going to have N4, which is this, comma O4. This is following a pattern. As soon as you find that something is going to follow a pattern, what you can do simply is just write one function, click on this bottom right corner, you see the small square, you will get a plus symbol, click and drag it down. Now that formula gets dragged. So this is N2 comma O2, this is N3 comma O3, this is N4 comma O4, this is N5 comma O5. This is a very powerful way of dragging the function all the way to wherever you want. Now see why this is giving an error, because it expected the argument to be number, but somehow over here it is written not found. So there is no way you can add not found with not found. So it gives an error. The detail of the error is over here. So this is very important concept. You should be very aware how to drag the formula down, and instead of writing the functions every time, you just write the function once and simply drag it down. Over here I want to know what is the difference between bookmarks and check-ins. So I can write equal to minus this, comma this. So it is 1145. I can also write, if I want to write difference, I can simply write equal to this minus this and then drag it all the way down. Instead of writing BM plus CI, if I insert one right, I can also write BM plus CI part 2, which is simply equal to this plus this. It is exactly same thing. And I can drag it down. All the numbers would be same. So either I write add N8 comma O8 or simply write N8 plus O8. So there are different ways to achieve the same result. I'm just showing you how different functions, how you can use the functions at a place and drag it down to get the desired result. So I think it is good if we hide the basics. We hide the Y. Remember, we hide it once, but again we restored the sheet to some previous timestamp, and that's the reason all of them came back. Product and multiply. Even if you don't know what exactly product will do and how to use it, if you just write PROD, you see you got product. You can see it takes factor 1, factor 2 and dot dot. It means it can take more than one values, or even it can take range. You see in the example it says A2 to A100. It means take everything from A2 to A100. Also take 2. Returns the result of multiplying a series of numbers together. Factor 1 and then factor 2 are optional. It means you can also just give one factor. The second is optional. Now let's see what happens. If I write product 3, the result is just 3. I just gave one number, so 3 multiplied by nothing, like 3 is as it is. I can also give 3 comma 4. So product is 3 multiplied by 4, which is 12. I can also do this over here, 2, 3, 1, 5. There are different numbers, and I write over here equal to product of all these numbers. So I give range A1 to A5 and 6. So it is 2 multiplied 3 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 53 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 6. This is the answer. I can also have multiple ranges. So there are some different ranges. And over here I write equal to product of everything that you find over here. So whatever number it finds in the entire range, it multiplies them, and this is the answer. product and multiply are exactly same thing, except that multiply returns the product of two numbers. So multiply will only take two arguments. It cannot take multiple, whereas product was taking multiple arguments. It can take as many arguments as you want. So in case of multiply, we cannot write 4 comma 3 comma 2 so that it gives me the multiplication of 4 by 3 by 2. It will give an error because in the documentation over here that you see returns the product of two numbers. It means it will only take two arguments, whereas the product can take multiple arguments. Divide and quotient. Let's see what divide and quotient does. Equal to divide. If I click this, it takes two arguments, return one number divided by another, equivalent of divide operator. So if I say 6 comma 2, it is 6 divided by 3. It's exactly same as 6 divided by 2. So both of them are exactly same. Quotient, again, as the name suggests, it would be giving the remainder after the. So if I say 5 comma 2, it is just giving the quotient and not giving the remainder. So if I say 10 comma 3, so 3 3s are 9, 1 is the remainder. So actually it's 3.333, but it just returns the quotient part. Mod equal to mod returns the result of the modulo operator, the remainder after a division. Okay, so previously it was quotient. So this was giving you the quotient part. Now this mod gives you the remainder part. So if I say 10 divided by 3, so 3 3s are 9, 1 is the remainder. So whenever you want to find a remainder, what is the remainder if you divide one number by another number, you are using mod. Again, to remind you, please practice this in your own sheet. Get comfortable with these functions. Let's stop this. This video has become too long. I prefer having the video less than 10 minutes because that's a very good span of attention. And once you have seen the video for 10 minutes, you can go back to your sheets and practice and come back. So let us stop this over here, and in the next video, we'll cover rest of the section 1 basics.